On the night of March 31st, 2006, Brian Shaffer walked into a crowded bar in downtown Columbus. It was a normal Friday night. Music was loud. Drinks were flowing. Friends were laughing. By morning, Brian was gone, and he has never been seen again. What makes this case so unsettling isn't just that a young man disappeared. It's that, according to surveillance cameras, Brian seemed to vanish from a place he never walked out of. Brian Shaffer was 27 years old. He was a medical student at the Ohio State University, known as intelligent, social, and well-liked. In the months leading up to his disappearance, his life had been heavy with stress. His mother had died unexpectedly earlier that year. His classes were demanding. But friends say Brian was still making plans for the future. He had an upcoming vacation to Miami. He was close to finishing medical school. On March 31st, Brian went out with friends to celebrate the start of spring break. Their destination was the Ugly Tuna Saloona, a bar located on the second floor of a building called South Campus Gateway. The group arrived around 9:30 p.m. Security cameras captured Brian entering the bar area that night. The footage shows him chatting with two women near the escalator entrance. He appears relaxed. There is no sign of distress, no argument, no visible reason to believe this night would end differently from any other. At around 1:55 a.m., Brian's friends decide to leave. They assume he's already gone with someone else. Brian was known to socialize. This didn't seem unusual. But Brian never made it home. When he failed to respond to calls the next day, concern grew. His car was still parked near his apartment. His phone went straight to voicemail. His belongings were untouched. The most disturbing discovery came when investigators reviewed the surveillance footage. Cameras covered the main exits of the bar. Brian is clearly seen entering. He is never seen leaving. Investigators initially considered the possibility that Brian left through a construction area attached to the building. At the time, South Campus Gateway was partially unfinished, with service corridors and restricted access points. Police searched these areas thoroughly. Nothing was found, no blood, no signs of a struggle, no personal items. They checked nearby dumpsters, searched the surrounding neighborhoods, dove into the Scioto River. There was no trace of Brian Shaffer. As days turned into weeks, theories began to form. One possibility was that Brian met with foul play inside or near the bar. But no witnesses came forward. No one reported a fight. The bar was crowded, and nothing unusual was noticed that night. Another theory suggested Brian may have left the bar unnoticed, slipping past cameras during a blind spot or leaving with staff through a service exit. But investigators reviewed hours of footage. None of the exits showed Brian leaving. The idea that he intentionally disappeared also surfaced. Brian had recently lost his mother. He had spoken about stress. Some wondered if he wanted a fresh start. But this theory struggles against the facts. Brian left behind his phone, money, passport, and car. He had strong family ties, especially with his father and brother. And he had made plans he seemed excited about. As the investigation continued, attention turned to Brian's phone records. Months after his disappearance, Brian's phone unexpectedly pinged off cell towers near Hilliard, Ohio. The calls went unanswered. Police searched the area but found nothing. Later, years